Here doing this.
Yeah.
We're live now as we speak. So
Okay.
oh, and by the way, somebody just shared a video of our Nutcracker as we speak.
Oh, nice.
I'm not.
Well, we'll see if we get to do a Nutcracker this year.
I was just thinking that. So this is a big day for all us dancers, and big day because we are celebrating International Day of Dance. And there you are doing your fouette turns. I love it. So make sure you. Good job. Yes. Who knows if we're going to do Nutcracker again? But we can always. It's always nice to watch. So I have a quote for you. I'm sure you've heard this before. Okay, ready for this?
Okay.
We're waiting for them to join in. I'll show you.
Yeah.
Dance is the hidden language of the soul.
I love that. Yeah, I've heard that before. Who is that from?
If you go under like inspiring dance quotes.
Okay.
No
It doesn't say who said it?
No, it does not. It does not.
Okay.
So if you go under inspirational dance quotes, and you can scroll through a lot of them. The one that stuck out the most for me was dance is the hidden language of the soul. And
I love that.
Isn't that nice?
Like everyone has,
Go ahead.
That's like everyone has their own way of dancing. No one dances the exact same way. It's just so it's special, and I feel like you get to like know someone's know their true self. If they're a dancer, I feel like that's where dancers can show who they truly are.
Yes.
So it's very nice. I like that quote.
When you think of this day, today is a special day in my opinion, is this International Dance. And, these two artists are going to be coming in shortly, I'm sure. What comes to your mind? What's the first thing that comes to your mind when you have like a day of dance?
That dance is something, it's universal. It connects us all, especially with something that's affecting the world. Like, rarely do we have circumstances where everyone is impacted all over the world. Usually if there's a war-torn country, it's a war-torn country, not like war. I mean, of course, like we are impacted in other ways by trying to help countries that are in trouble, but literally everyone all over the world is going through this right now. So dance is just to have, to be thinking about international dance is special. And you kind of get, since we're all in our own bubbles literally right now, like it's really nice to think outside how other people are being affected. And maybe like we can share our shared troubles. It's good to share your difficulties with someone else that can sort of help you both get through it. So, yeah.
I think that the fact that dance is a universal language, and it's non-discriminatory, and it's non-judgment, and it's something you can do here, there, anywhere, but it has a universal feel all over the world. I don't know. Are there other components of life that has that impact on people?
I would say the arts in general, so music or, just different pieces of artwork. I'd say mostly art is a way for people to connect on a deeper level or be moved emotionally without having a need for translation. And everyone can take their own information away from that, so that's also pretty special. So you can both watch the same dance and like get a totally different feel from it. So yeah. And
Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, I'm interested to hear how um, the two people that are gonna be coming on, like how they're coping with this and like how they're being impacted. Because they both have different roles in the dance world than I do. I'm like, I'm just, I'm on my own. I don't have to take care of a company. I don't have to think about like making sure my company gets through this. So that's difficult.
I'm sure it is difficult, and we all have to take care of ourselves. But then we feel as a collective that we're going to take care of each other. I
Mhm.
mean, um, we're waiting for them, and this one guy, he might have a hard time connecting from where he's
Mhm.
at,
Mhm.
and so and she might.
Where is he from exactly?
He's from I thought it was the Congo, but I think it's Ultura. But I'll have to ask him.
Mhm.
But he may have a hard time connecting with us today. So
Mhm.
we'll have to give him a few more minutes here. But
Yeah.
I wrote this couple things down, and I'm kind of curious of what you're thinking when you hear these. When I wrote this down,
Mhm.
um, exploring boundaries.
Exploring boundaries, like what I think that means. Well, we have different boundaries now, and like there are certain boundaries that we have to like try and cross over, like figuring out um like all the virtual classes and um like seeing how we can mold our space to fit our needs. So like people in their apartments, they move around their furniture to fit what is necessary. Or like finding new I don't know, I guess you think about your own boundaries maybe a bit more. Like I don't think like I'm one of those people that like I'm like I can't take this much time off and um, that's a real
You know
that's
what?
a real boundary.
That's a real. That's a
But
real.
like we're like a month into this, and like I still feel like I'm around the same. I'm hover like you know I'm hovering in the same technical area that I was before. Um, I don't feel like it's too far to get back to where I was. Which is surprising
Oh, that's
because
interesting. You're right. Okay, that's a good point.
does
That point.
that make sense?
It does make sense.
Like
When you get back,
my
it's like,
boundary is like I can't take that much time off and be able to come back. Like that's just impossible. And now I see that maybe it is possible.
yes, because you kept yourself in shape. You did
Yeah, yeah,
this.
yeah, I guess. I don't know. We'll see. I haven't taken class yet today, so
So here's another one. Uh,
uh-huh.
how do
Well,
you
what
think?
about you, huh? And
What
do
about?
people ask you, how do you feel about the boundaries in this scenario?
Well, as you know, I like to push the boundaries
Uh-huh.
different ways, and I haven't really pushed it creativity-wise in this
Mhm.
my dancing. I've pushed it more like what we're doing right now, and
Mhm.
people have pushed that boundary of
Mhm.
how far out in the world can I go to meet people.
Right. You've connected with a whole lot of people, so I'm
No, and
impressed.
the thing is, Lieneke, is that people have made a decision to say yes and connect with me.
Uh-huh.
So it goes both ways.
Okay. Right. Yeah.
They would have never said yes if they didn't want to. They don't show up or whatever it is. Uh,
Mhm.
it's a risk of going
Mhm.
to an environment like this,
Right.
talking with somebody they don't know.
Mhm. What about for you? Because you're used to working on your own, like giving yourself class. Do things feel that different for you? Or, I mean, I know you don't have clients coming into your studio right now, right? So, different does it feel for your own? I mean, you perform a lot though, so there's that element. But what about like the daily maintenance? Like, Does that feel that different for you, or?
Lieneke, that's a good question. And I
Mhm.
think that when you have a goal,
Mhm.
let's use Nutcracker as an example.
Yeah, yeah.
I know that I need to really make sure that my body's ready for the rigorousness of it.
Mhm.
I'll start 4 or 5 months beforehand. And
Mhm.
for that, make sure that I'm ready for that. And what I do is I create projects in between. So
Mhm.
I might have 6 weeks of projects. So
Mhm.
that is my system.
Okay, this is
The
what I have to do.
system is gone. My
What?
old
Yeah, the system is, there's no system.
longer existing. That was my system. and like Regina, we had all these projects going,
Mhm.
great. We really
Yeah,
had this thing going there for a while.
right.
We had a system.
Yeah, it's funny because I'm doing this class on the science of well-being, and basically it's about what actually makes you happy. And I'm not going to get into the details of it, but one of the homework assignments is to write down, like, there are a few things you have to write down. Here are my papers. You have to write down, you have to do a random act of kindness, you have to exercise, you have to savor something, you have to have some social connection, you have to be grateful for something. So this is forcing me to write down all these things. And I'm looking back like weeks ago, I'm like, I did like Pilates and a yoga class and a Cunningham class and a ballet class in the same day. Like, that was, but it forces me to look back at certain things. I'm like, I forgot I even did that, Sometimes you don't even realize like what you've accomplished. But it's good to have goals because, yeah, you can like rev yourself up. You're like, I have until this time. Like, that's,
You
that's
create,
the deadline.
right? You create your own, like when you dance with a verb, or you
Mhm.
have a studio, or projects, you create a system that
Mhm.
works. A changeable one, but one that you can rely on to keep
Mhm.
yourself in shape, keep you mentally prepared, creativity, all those things
Mhm.
are important for us.
Right.
I felt like I was standing on a rug, and
Mhm.
the rug went boop.
Yes. Yeah. It does feel like that. Um, yeah. What about like when you stopped dancing for Verb, like did you already have everything else lined up in your life so that you could like make that transition smoothly? Like, or did you sort of feel like the way you do now? Like was that like, I don't know what I'm gonna do, or did you just, I mean, you had so many connections already though, so.
Well, though, I really like being with the company, Verb.
Mhm.
Um, but when that transition happened, um,
Mhm.
you're right. The connections that I had with, well, first of all, Susie and I's Pilates business was kind of already our constant.
Mhm.
It was a constant.
Right, you already had that
That
foundation.
was already done since 2000.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
but my relationships with Beckley Dance Theater and different
Mhm.
ones, they've been constant too. So those relationships that I had already built up to that.
Mhm. So just like this distribution of time, you spend more time in these other arenas rather than at Verb.
Well, it took some time, to be frank,
Mhm.
get
Yeah,
myself adjusted.
right.
So the way I work is I get upset for a moment, and then I go, okay, what am I gonna do? So I threw myself. My friend, my best friend. I don't know if I should say his name or not, but he said, Brian, you just kind of. And this is back in 1992,
Uh-huh.
93. He goes, you just sort of say yes to everything? I go, yeah, I just do it. I give it a go. Like this
Mm-hmm.
right here,
Mm-hmm.
I love this kind of thing. But
Right.
you have to almost kind of put yourself out there.
Out there. Yes. Yeah. I just wait, funny story. So I wanted to start a journal, and this is what it says. I don't know if it's backwards,
Big
but
dream,
it says,
dare to fail.
yep.
That's
Perfect for these times, right?
perfect. Put that put that up again. I want to see that again. That thing. Dream big and dare to fail.
Yep.
Everybody, did I see
So
that?
I wanted to support a local place, and there were 2 journals available. One was a unicorn one, and the other one was this one. And I didn't want to do the unicorn one. That's not my style. So, but it has all these like quotes in it that are like, "Don't wait to be discovered," and like, what else? Be afraid of nothing. You know, it's just.
Well, then here's the dialogue. This is
Mhm.
something must have happened with them. They're not here, but I love this dialogue.
That's okay.
It's okay. We're having
Things happen, you know.
that they do.
That's like, yeah.
It's what it is. But this is
We adjust.
good. This is kind of good though. I like this.
Yeah.
So everybody measures success differently.
Uh-huh.
So how would you measure success?
Oh wow. Oh man. Okay. I would measure success with um self acceptance and um the impact you have on others. So yeah, those 2 things. So if you are happy with who you are, I think that is a level, I think that's success. And as long as that place helps you impact others, like be your best self. So success, being your best self. This is I don't know where I'm going with this, but being your best self and having that impact those around you in a positive way. There you go. That's what I see success as. So.
I talked to a friend of mine, and
Mm-hmm.
he and I were talking I got like a very similar thing about this.
Mm-hmm.
And as a performing artist, and I guess all of us as artists, we give a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And giving is to me a success in itself.
Mm-hmm.
My wife and I give our Pilates to our clients. We get it for so many years.
Mm-hmm.
People feel good about themselves. That's success.
Yes.
Working with partners, and there's a team of people, or and that feeling that you've accomplished is a success.
Mm-hmm.
Having an impact is success. So the question that came up was, is that selfish?
Okay, so I've heard this too. So is it selfish to what? To be a dancer?
To be giving, but feeling that you are actually almost getting as much as you're giving.
No, that's not selfish. I think that's the satisfaction of life. Like that's the place you want to be in. Like you want to be in a place where you're impacting others positively, and you also get that. I think anytime you impact someone in a positive way, that's what happens to an individual. Like the other day I was teaching, and one of the little girls, I guess as I was finishing the meeting, she said, "I have a lot of fun." And it literally made me so happy because I don't get like a lot of feedback like that from my ballet class. Like just like face to face. And this was a girl that didn't know me at all. She was a new student. And she was just like, I had so much fun in your, like, that just, like, impacted her positively. And her just saying that, like, gave me a lot of endorphins. So, you know, I think that's I think that's just action and reaction. Like, if you impact someone positively, you're gonna feel great about yourself too. So.
Agreed. I do agree. And we'll finish this up here. This is kind of nice. And then people who are watching, people are coming.
But I will say that, you know, some people do consider dance a selfish endeavor. Like, oh, it's me expressing myself. But I think that when I am my best self, I'm like, dancing makes me the happiest version of myself. That means I will impact those around me in a more positive way. So I don't see that as being selfish. I think that there are so many people in the world, you might as well go for, you have to go for what you want, and that's all I'm gonna say.
No, that's kind of interesting because you're right. Dancing can be perceived as that. As we pretty much live it.
Mm-hmm.
Our whole life is surrounded by our dancing. Talk
Mm-hmm.
about it, think about it. We might have food, think about whatever you want, right? It is our.
Yeah.
It's our life.
Yeah.
And it is it can come off as being that way, but we strive. What we're doing is we want to give. That's what we're working hard so that when we give, we're giving the best we have.
Right, because we're without having performances, we don't feel that fulfilled. You know, we have to perform. We have to have that. We have to share our thoughts with someone. So, and then what I wanted to say, you were talking about our lives are just so wrapped around dance. I was talking to my dad yesterday because some of the other dancers, they've been like, oh, who wants to watch this ballet with me? And at the end of the day, I've just been thinking about dance for the whole day. It's like, I'm gonna do ballet, I'm gonna do Cunningham, I'm gonna teach, I'm gonna walk, but while I'm walking, all I'm thinking about is dance. Like, literally,
Yes.
like, oh, are we gonna have this show? And like, things just, you know, run through my head, and normally they're dance things. So when I get home, I'm like, I have to prepare myself to see a dance show sometimes, because especially right now, it's just like, I have to like be so vigilant. It's just, anyway.
It's almost thinking about it more now because you're trying.
Yes, yeah. I mean, it's just, rather than me doing my job, like, okay, we're in rehearsal, like, that almost is less mentally taxing, because I know it's not like my mind like running in circles, like in free time. Free time is when like I'm just thinking the whole, you know.
There's really, the free time is different. It's kind of,
yeah, it's hard.
It's hard.
I hate free time.
Well,
I'm kidding.
the thing is, though, it's different now than it was
Yes.
months ago. It's very
Yeah.
different for us.
Yeah.
We're thinking, okay, blah, 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 blah. And I think that.
Oh, someone joined. Wait.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Oh, I guess she's getting ready for ballet in a few seconds here.
Well, you know, Lieneke, this was a really nice conversation. I'm sorry they didn't show up, but they must have.
It's all right.
That's okay. We had a great conversation, though.
You know what? We did think about the world in dance, so that's our way of celebrating the International Day of Dance. Huh?
Yeah. We both said the same thing at the same time, but we are definitely celebrating the Day of Dance today, which is nice. So
cool.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. So you can leave if you like, but I'm going to stay on here and then we're going. Hi, Lise.
Hi.
I'm going to the studio today, so I got a time slot. So
get to the studio quickly, and thank you for the conversation, Lieneke.
Of course. Have a good time.
Bye. Happy celebration.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Hello, Elise.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good.
Excellent. So today is the celebration of Dance Day. It's kind of exciting. I'm excited.
Yeah.
So how is school going?
Good.
Excellent. If you want to, we're going to start in a few minutes. You can take your camera off if you like, and then we'll start in about 5 minutes, okay?
Okay. How do you take your? Oh.
Camera off. There's a little camera button there. There you go. Cool. All right. All right, everybody, we're going to start ballet class in about 5 minutes. So see you in a few minutes.